So there's more things to fear than just math in school nowadays. There was so much stuff that kind of happened this episode. It was really, really, really cool. And there's still so much more that needs to be done. I'm JazzHandss, your friendly neighborhood DJ, and I'm here, of course, talking about the one, the only Fear the Walking Dead, which is episode 2, titled So Close, Yet So Far. So, let's get into this awesome review right now on 89.5 The Wave.
You're listening to KCFB Ferguson, 89.5 The Wave, and this is Fear the Dead Air with your host, JazzHandss.
When civilization ends, it ends fast.
That is right, you are listening to 89.5 The Wave, and I am your friendly neighborhood DJ, JazzHandss, like I said, and if you don't know the show already, it is Fear the Dead Air, which is talking about last Sunday's epic Fear the Walking Dead episode, which, okay, I'm more than willing to kind of give this show a little bit more of a break, because it is still of a setup, and this is supposed to be during, or at least a little bit before, the 6 months where Rick was in the coma. So we're kind of still piecing together some of the pieces and gathering together, and it's setup. This is a lot of setup, where the first series did throw us into it, and this is more of a setup. So second episode, we're still kind of getting a little bit more of the setup. My kind of thoughts on the show as a whole. Right now, the last 10 minutes of the episode, I think really, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, so no spoilers. If you haven't watched the episode, go check that out. Okay, so this is the second episode. I'll be honest, the last 10 minutes of the episode, I think, were what really, really kind of did it for me. That's when I really kind of started getting excited, getting into the show. Other than that, there was still a lot of slow pacing. There was still a lot of kind of character development that we're still going through, and I'll be kind of brutally honest. As of right now, I'm not too fond of the characters. There's not really a character that I kind of like. I do like a little bit. I like Travis. I like Travis, the main dad. He's kind of my favorite, but that's still like, well, he's my favorite, like, bug bite out of a bunch of other ones, you know, like that one hurts the least. And I know that these characters are still growing, and they're not that bad. It's just my whole problem with them is that within the first episode of, like, let's say the original, and I hate doing this because it is its own beast, and you're supposed to look at it as its own thing, but then you're also not supposed to, because, well, we know what happens. This is in the world of The Walking Dead. So this is where me myself, I kind of become twisted and a little bit confused about what do I do? Do I take it as is, or can I reference the first show? So I'm going to reference the first show right now, because within the first episode, we got Morgan. I mean, we got Rick, and I still do remember the kind of problems I had with Rick in the first, like, couple episodes of The Walking Dead. I thought he was very out of nowhere the leader. I need to kill these walkers. I'm this, I'm that, with real no kind of build up or leading up to it, you know. But he had like a mission. He had to find his family, so that kind of drove him somewhere. However, we did get Morgan in like the first episode, and I don't know about anybody else. I absolutely loved Morgan in the first episode. Like, I loved Morgan. I loved his son. First episode, I was hooked with Morgan. Then you get introduced to Glenn, you know, in the second episode. I actually kind of liked Glenn and got chills, and I still get chills to this day when we first hear Glenn come over the radio, and it's just like, hey, dumbass. Yeah, you in the tank. You cozy? Like, that, I loved that. I absolutely love that so much. But with these newer kind of characters, I mean, granted, they still have a lot of growing to do. There's not real one that I can kind of relate with or like gravitate to, except maybe Travis. And this is where I think his character as being the everyman is going to really kind of go a long way and kind of set the tone for everything else, because it's not a cop. It's a teacher. It's a teacher trying to survive in this apocalypse. And I was talking with somebody, which we are, by the way, everybody else is going to be joining me here shortly. I just kind of want to come in, say my little piece at the beginning, and then everyone else, hopefully the entire crew that you know and love, or if you don't know and love, you're going to get to know and love, will be in momentarily. So we got that kind of going on. And I lost my train of thought. Travis. Okay, so yeah, so I like Travis as kind of like the everyman, and Rick is... They're different. Yes, they are different. And I'm not comparing the characters. I'm kind of comparing the setup and like, well, I guess I am comparing the characters. So I guess I just made a contradiction within myself, so I apologize. But the characters just feel different in this one. And I was talking to one of the teachers actually here, and a very good friend, Drew Foster, and he was saying that he feels that it's kind of gonna, the way the show's gonna be going and looking out is it's going to be like season, I guess, end of season 4 or mid season 4, where they're all scattered to the winds and they have to kind of they got to find each other again, Rick and the group. It's going to be like that, but with this first one, where instead of them together and splitting up, it's going to be they split up relatively soon, and now they're going to have to look for each other and find each other and kind of get back together as a family. And are they going to be the same people that they were when they first left each other? Is that going to be a thing? So who knows? Who knows, what's really kind of going to happen there. But we're going to take a quick break here on 89.5 The Waves, Fear the Dead Air. I'm JazzHandss, and I'll be back with more people, and we're going to have this awesome kind of discussion on what we thought and what we liked and what we didn't like about the episodes and everything like that. So get ready for that, because that's going to be coming up right here in a little bit on 89.5 The Wave, right after this break. So stay tuned, guys.
Like the dead rising, we are back. You are listening to Fear the Dead Air, only on 89.5 The Wave.
That is right, we are back here on 89.5 The Wave with Fear the Dead Air, our own college's local little kind of tidbit / nod to Talking Dead, so awesome, right?
Awesome. Definitely.
And I'm okay. So if you don't know me, my name is JazzHandss, your friendly neighborhood DJ, and I am joined with, introduce yourself, peeps.
It's DJ Kaji, y'all.
And I'm Anime.
And we're going to be talking about last Sunday's epic Fear the Walking Dead episode, which was interesting. If you stuck around here a little bit earlier, you kind of heard my thoughts on some of the stuff that I was going on, or that I was at least talking about. Now, I want to kind of hear your guys' opinion. What you guys think of the episode? What'd you like? What'd you dislike? No spoilers, of course, because for people who haven't seen it. But
that's difficult then.
If you can give some spoilers, like we don't have to give an entire recap of last Sunday's episode. But I mean, tell me what you guys like, what you guys didn't like.
I guess I'll go first because God, you didn't say anything. I like that we got to see more of how how everyone's starting to panic. Like, you see the authorities, like, just going to bring up one scene. The scene that's a lot of people have seen is the one where Travis sees the policeman putting like a jug or something of water in his back in the back of his squad car.
Yeah, a lot of water. Yeah, I like that scene too.
Yeah, and that it just shows that this man, is having the right idea of I'm supposed to protect the city. I'm supposed to protect the people here, but my family comes first. I'm gonna get us out of here. So it's similar to what Travis was trying to do in the episode.
Well, yeah, and I feel that with showing that the police are even kind of freaking out and getting a whole bunch of water, that it's bigger than what they're making it out to be. It's a bigger situation. It's a badder situation, and stuff's falling apart a lot more quicker than I think Travis or any of them really thought. So by seeing this cop kind of putting in water, it's like, well, oh snap, now there's not going to be any law enforcement because they know what's going on, and they know we need to get out of the city. We need to get out of here because it's going to get bad. Yeah. Your thoughts, Kaji? What'd you like? What'd you dislike about the episode?
I liked about when Travis saying when he saw one of the neighbors mostly just packing everything up like he had the right idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then also you have one of the neighbors going to start, What was it, party? Was they doing
It was like a birthday party.
That was so, okay. I want to talk about that real quick. That was so this is the one thing that kind of I like and I don't like about Fear the Walking Dead. They'll have certain scenes that set up. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going on. Oh, hey, look, here's a child's party, like a first year. Like, I don't know how old the kid was.
I thought it was like 7 or 9 or something.
Six,
some
7,
kid.
8. I mean, they had a jump house now. Unless,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 24 and I would love the jump house, but this. So I don't know. The age of the person could be questionable, but it seemed like a child's party, and it's just like there's something bad gonna happen, and they didn't go through with it quite as much as I thought they were going to.
Yeah.
I thought there was gonna be a lot more chaos, but it's still stuff like that where they're kind of setting up like, could a walker show up here? And it's like, nope, it's fine, but it could have, and it's like that's kind of like, come on, stop. I mean, I know that the show is trying to tease that.
Yeah.
We know what's going to happen, but they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Bossman said last week, they're teasing those who have seen The Walking Dead with scenes like that, or like the one from last week with the principal and going, well, is he a walker? Is he a walker? No, he's just...
Which comes back in the episode. Let's say that. But it's it's stuff like that where, I don't know, for me personally, it's kind of like, either do it or don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, I don't like the kind of like build up tension to lead to nothing.
Yeah.
Because then it's just kind of like, it's almost like when you have to sneeze.
Oh,
But
yeah,
you
definitely.
just can't quite sneeze, so you lose it, and now your nose just feels that tingly. That's kind of what it feels every time they tease something bad's going to happen. Oh, no, it doesn't. And then
Yeah.
something really bad happens. So, Kaji, go on. What
And
were
then
you
another
saying?
one is when, what was it, Madison, when she saw her best friend, I think with the principal that turned. He did the same thing.
Yeah.
Barack Obama.
Oh, yeah.
That dude looks so much like Barack Obama. So much like
They're
Barack
like, she's trying to help her, like, and the guy like this, he gonna pull out the knife and try like, no, don't save him. He try to stab him.
The box cutter.
The box cutter,
Yeah. And because I don't know about you guys, that whole scene in the school, like, that was terrifying. For
Oh,
me.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
That was, I think, one of their scariest moments
Yeah.
in the series, like, within the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, even more so than the Quicksilver, the Walker. That's what I call the first one for people that don't know. That's what I call the first drug dealer. So who wears all silver out for like nothing? Like who does? I mean, okay, it's LA, but either way, I think just hearing that there was one walker in the classroom and that there was another that kind of entered in and stuff, and it's like, oh well, they're here. I think that kind of brought the fear up a little bit more because in The Walking Dead, or for like the normal one, we're kind of used to the walkers now.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh hey, there's a walker, boom. There's a walker, boom. But with this, you don't know where they are. They could be around the corner. They could be miles away, and it could just be normal people. And that, I think, kind of ups the ante for the freak out factor.
Yeah, it definitely does. Especially like with seeing with Madison and not Trayvon, whatever his name is, the conspiracy theory kid,
Tobias.
Tobias seeing the principal, and Tobias actually trying to warn Madison that something's not right, something's not right. Oh, he's a walker. Oh well, and he tries to. It's like Madison's still trying to reason with him, even though Tobias is trying to kill him, and then the box cutter knife thing breaks, and Tobias is almost. Did he get bit?
He didn't get bit. No. Madison saved him. Madison saved him.
Yeah. But I did kind of like that whole scene because I realistically, like, we see Rick and his group kind of like take out walkers like it's nothing. But like, realistically, I don't know. I've never done it. I don't think any of you've done it. But like, the amount of force to kind of stab somebody through the head and get to their brain, like, I assume there's a lot of force that kind of goes behind that. So for right out the gate, if you've never really dealt with a walker before, you're gonna kind of have problems, getting it. So I like that they kind of kept that where he couldn't really quite get a good grip of.
Yeah, it's like, and then eventually the box cutter broke, and they tumbled down the steps, and then Madison had to use the fire extinguisher.
Yeah,
and I mean,
which I mean, I think everybody, especially from last episode, kind of saw that was going to happen. I mean, and that's, I think, one of our first I think he was one of our first Walker deaths from a main character, besides like the cops and stuff that we saw on the freeway in the first episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah.
Well, unless Calvin was a minor side character, so not really a main character.
Yeah, but okay. So I mean, what else did you guys like? Like, what were some, or at least what did you not like? I mean, what did you think of the series? What do you think of the characters?
To me, I think Madison's breaking down because right now she sees the Walker. Then she saw her daughter mostly trying to help out. Mm-hmm. I think it was one of the neighbors was screaming out.
Yeah, the birthday party.
Yeah, the birthday party.
The neighbor that was kind of had the cold. I guess finally died and started turning.
Yeah, and then now Madison's trying to block the door from her daughter. I guess she's gonna tell her or not. I don't know what she's gonna do.
Yeah, well, I mean, Madison seemed to have kind of like, and we need to kind of remember this. She didn't kill a Walker.
No.
She killed her friend.
Yeah.
She killed her friend, and that's why she was so upset.
Yeah.
But because there are these things now.
Yeah.
They're not people. And so I think that kind of has a more powerful aspect to where, like The Walking Dead, we see Rick and them. I mean, we've seen them kill walkers of their own kind, their own kind.
Yeah.
But they've split it where these are not our friends anymore. They are our walkers. And like I said earlier, I don't like to kind of keep referencing back to the original source, to the original show, but because it's in the same world, I think we can kind of get away with it just a little bit.
Yeah,
even though it is its own beast.
Yeah.
And I want to keep it as it's its own thing, and these characters are still kind of evolving and moving forward and everything like that. But I think once in a while we can get away with referencing. So
a few references isn't bad here and there.
But I definitely liked. I liked Madison. So what were you saying?
And then also, what do you think about the riot when Travis tried to get his son, trying to get away from everything, and then what was it? The son, then the mother trying to get her son from the riot and everything.
Yeah.
Because that kid with it, like that. I want to talk about that kid for a split second because he is spoiled.
Yeah, Chris or Christopher, whatever his name is. Yeah, he's a spoiled.
I hate that. Like he might mellow out and he might get better. And granted, I did like in the first episode where you could kind of see almost everybody's kind of perspective, and you could kind of see his perspective of, well, why do I want to go see you this weekend? Because all we're going to be doing is in a hospital because one kid, your girlfriend's kid can't control himself and he's on drugs. Why do I have to spend my weekend in a hospital because he messed up?
Yeah.
So you can definitely see the point, but I still think that kid's spoiled. I think that kid's spoiled, and I hate. I don't know. I don't see him surviving Super Bowl.
And one thing is, I think the mother knows because after she saw the guy, I think the person in the bottom, where they covered the body, I think she figured it out, like what's really going on. That was acting Travis saying, "What did you see?"
Yeah. Wait. For
Liza,
Liza,
his ex-wife.
Her ex-wife. Yeah.
Okay.
When she saw the person, the homeless guy or whatever, being covered in, or it's like he was half covered. I think his face was still showing.
Yeah.
But she might have like seen him twitch or something because the camera lingered a little bit too long.
Yeah.
With her thinking, okay, maybe something is going on. Maybe this isn't just a homeless guy got shot.
Yeah. It definitely. I think they up the ante, and I think she's more on. I don't think she's going to be completely on Travis's side yet. I think she needs to see a walker for herself.
Yeah.
But I think she definitely knows that, hey, there's something kind of going on that shouldn't. And so I don't think those two are going to kind of have a problem. And, I don't know, the riot was kind of a cool, it was interesting to kind of see because if there's one thing, and this is what I think, if they do it right, could be terrifying. Where, I mean, they could easily have just a riot and people screaming and shouting, and somebody could get bit. A bunch of people could get bit, and nobody's going to notice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nobody's going to notice, and so it's going to all of a sudden, I think if they do it right, all of a sudden get quiet.
They actually, and they thrown at the last minute, after the ending, they show a little bit of it, but I think they actually showing a little bit, like everybody's going to turn.
I think that idea of they're just sitting there and there's a riot and all of a sudden it's just quiet and you look out and you just see walkers everywhere.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. And I kind of hope they do that after the 2-week break. I kind of hope we see that because that gave me chills.
Oh, it was terrifying, especially like looking through that crack in the cover or whatever and seeing just it's so close.
Yeah.
That sent shudders down my spine. I was terrified.
Yeah, well, I'm necessarily talking about that this could happen.
This could happen, yeah.
Yeah. So
and also Travis trying to make sure everything like he's trying like this. If everything goes bad, if anything we can escape, the one can go to the back door and just escape.
Yeah, well, because he knows more about what's going on than some of the other characters do.
Yeah.
He knows that there's these things out there now. We saw another one kind of walk up, and the police, shot it, and now we got this kind of craziness going on where these walkers or even people could try to get in. So he's more scared than the couple that he met.
The Salazars.
The Salazars, yeah. And the thing, what'd you guys think of them?
I like them. I read a bit of like another article about them, and they're the mother and the couple are from like El Salvador or something. I'm probably saying that wrong, but
El Salvador. Yeah.
I don't know. It's some like place kind of more older country, and they came here. Their daughter, who came out later, she was American born. She was raised as an American child. And she kind of sees them, not being able to take care of themselves. But you can also see in the way the mother reacts to having the rosary in her hand and praying with the riots going on just outside her door. So I liked her. So
it's not that I think that the daughter thinks that they can't take care of themselves. I think it's more or less she views them as they're the old ways.
Yeah,
they're from their old village. This is how they kind of act. This is how they've kind of been. And in 20th century America, 21st century America, whatever, you can't. Sometimes you have to act differently. You have to do this. You have to do that, because if not, bad stuff can kind of happen. And, unfortunately, but that's the world we live in. So I think it's not unless they can't take care of themselves. It's they're set in their ways, and they sometimes need somebody.
That makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Kaji? What do you think?
Hey, to me, when I see the guy, it's no problem. Hey, sometimes you need to pray. Sometimes if there's a situation, sometimes you have to pray, trying to see you make everything okay. But everything, I say, when I met with the people in the shop, right?
The Salvador's,
the place.
Barber.
Well, actually, I would say Travis almost didn't make it in because the guy was
there. Yeah. Well, and that's, I think that, I don't know if anybody kind of get this, and again, referencing Walking Dead, I know, but it was almost kind of like a real quick like recap almost of season 2, where these guys come in, it's like, hey, I just want to protect my family, just kind of wait out the storm, let me do this, and the guy's like, no, and then the daughter's like, let him in, it's fine, and then they're kind of like now in the situation together, and clearly the situation's gonna rev up where, because we don't know how it's gonna happen, but the situation where they're with walkers or the military or whatever, it's gonna rev up quick, and I think that's when they're going to become a family, and one's definitely going to have strict morals, and the other might be more lax on it. So I'm interested to kind of see what happens with them and what their whole character arc is.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing how you're saying like the two different families interacting. Sorry, Kaji, go on.
Hey, I'm going to say, you think about, Madison, think she's going to stay and wait for Travis, or wants to just take off after the riot? Calm down, maybe.
That's a tough one.
This is like a prediction, and this is where I could maybe see the series going. I don't know. This is just prediction. This is the 3rd of September, 2015. So no idea what's going to happen. I'm probably totally wrong, but what I think might happen is I could definitely see, and like I said earlier, I was talking to one of the professors here and a good friend, Drew Foster, and he said that he believes, and I kind of agree with him, that it's going to be reverse The Walking Dead season, or it's going to kind of be reverse Walking Dead, where they're not starting off as a family and kind of coming together. It's going to be that they were a family and now they're separated.
Oh yeah.
And now the whole season's going to be them reuniting.
Oh yeah.
And so it's going to be, I could see maybe if stuff gets really, really bad, what's her name?
Madison.
Madison and the kids kind of eventually leaving or sticking there, going to
The desert
or something. And I could see Travis and his family and his group. You know, I could see both people kind of getting different groups along the way. I could see them kind of going and trying to escape the city, and then eventually the city's gonna get lost, and it's gonna be a race against time now, because I could see the military being like, well, let's napalm it.
Yeah, we need to nuke the city.
Nuke city. That's what I see. Like, I'm feeling like right now, as that situation's right now, I'm thinking like the military is gonna do the same thing like they did in Resident Evil. They can do blockade, try to like bomb everything before everything gets worse.
I mean, probably, especially with a major city.
Yeah.
But I mean, however, because we don't know what could happen, because if we remember what Rick and the others said when everything first started happening, the military they actually did try to get the military tried to direct people into the bigger city to protect them.
Yeah.
So it could very well be that at some point the military says, yes, we're going to have people coming in because there's stuff that's going on worldwide, or at least nationwide, and we need all the people in one big area so we can protect you. But because stuff's already happening in the city, lower stuff, that's when stuff's going to get dangerous. Yeah. That's when more walkers are going to come out. That's when more people are going to maybe start rioting.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what happened. And if the series is going how I think it's going, then it's going to be kind of interesting to see these two families who know each other at the end when they kind of finally reunite, and what they've gone through, and see how different they are.
Yeah.
That I think is going to be kind of interesting and really, really cool to see. So I mean, what else were some of you guys' like favorite episode? I mean, what did you think about what did you think about when they kind of like found the boyfriend?
Oh yeah, we completely glossed over that. Because
who's that? Matt.
Matt, Alicia's boyfriend, who didn't show up for their date last episode.
Well, he's got a pretty good defense, because he was. Well, hopefully, he wasn't cheating and necking with another girl.
Oh my gosh, you. Yeah. Oh wow, I could tell. Oh, don't make me see that, JazzHandss. Come on.
Well, I'm just saying,
Well, because the bite mark was like on the shoulder. If it had been on the neck, that would have been interesting. But yeah, on the shoulder. I mean, still. But yeah, he was bit, and Alicia's trying to take care of him, and of course, Travis and Madison really don't say what's going on, and that kind of irked me a little bit. It's like, we don't tell her.
Yeah, and that's where I think it's going to kind of come back and at least bite Madison in the butt.
Yeah.
A little bit, and maybe, I keep forgetting his name.
Nick?
Travis.
Oh, Travis.
Yeah, I think it might come back and kind of bite them in the butt, because they're not telling anybody. They're well, it's not that they're not telling anybody, but they're not telling their family members. Yeah. And so when you kind of do get that moment where it's just like, hey, somebody's in trouble, we need to go help them, and the mom's like, no.
She had a total breakdown at that, because Alicia, being at least semi-raised right, was like, I'm gonna go help. No, the mom didn't. Madison didn't say anything, because she was freaking out so much after killing her friend, not a walker.
Still, it's like, even though you're freaking out, I still feel that
you should tell her.
You should tell her, like, hey, look, there's something going on. There's some sort of sickness. The people that are here are turning. There's nothing we can do. They're biting other people. They're not they don't die anymore from just normal shots. We don't know what's going on. Your boyfriend, we had to get you out of the house. I mean, I could see them not saying that to kind of get her out of the house and away from the boyfriend, but it's like, he's more than likely a walker. He's a walker now. Yeah. I mean, he was, if he was gone for 2 days, he was probably fevering out and close. And, that's where...
I think he knew Matt, and I think he knew he was not what he was, but except that he told her to go, just go with your family, leave me behind, or something like that.
Yeah, that was kind of cheesy for me.
You gotta have some cheese.
Just go. I love you. And I'm like, oh my God, you're in high school. Like, dude.
High school romance, what do you expect?
It was, for me, that was corny. That was just kind of like, oh, come on.
But yeah, another thing to say is, Alicia is the only one now in the family who hasn't seen anything that's wrong. Travis has seen something. Madison has really now seen something. And Nick did with his at first thinking drug-induced
Drug-induced,
state.
yeah.
But it's like nobody's telling her. I'm hoping that's not going to be a hindrance on her character. Like they're just trying to keep her from seeing everything. She's going to see something eventually. Either you tell her, or something else is going to happen.
She's going to find out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't like Alicia, but I want her to have this hindrance of, not knowing what's going on. So, I mean, what do you think, Kaji, JazzHandss?
Well, I'm thinking, it's like a couple of parts you could have told her, like, actually, the one part of Madison should have told the people who did the party, saying, watch out for something, but I don't think they did,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's where I do kind of have a problem where I don't like, because I'm not really digging Madison. To me, Madison's kind of starting to seem like a kind of, and I hate to do this because she's becoming an Andrea.
Oh.
I feel that she's going to kind of become she's kind of slowly going to become an Andrea and I try to be like this tough chick. Mm-hmm. That, or I really think she's going to relapse on drugs. But, like the fact that she didn't tell anybody, hey, there's something going on, you guys should really watch out. And it's kind of like, well, we're just sticking up for ourselves. We're only protecting ourselves and maybe Tobias.
Yeah.
It just seemed really, really cold to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
cold, yeah.
More colder than where I think these people should be at this point in time, because Rick and his group, they can do that. That's fine. They've seen hell. They've been through hell. But
It's like Madison's a school counselor. You think she would be a little more open and telling somebody.
yeah, telling somebody, hey, there's something going on. Just be careful today, okay? Just please be careful. And it seemed very cold for me. And like what you were saying before, Kaju, how you asked me, Anna, is I feel that definitely not telling the daughter is going to be it's almost kind of going to be, for me at least, a little annoying. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, there's dangerous stuff. Like, even when she was messing with the, boyfriends, like, it's dangerous. Get out of there. What are you doing? He's going to turn. Yeah. It's like, and this is where I was saying before, where they kind of tiptoe, like, this is, but they don't, where it's just like, it's frustrating because they're going to learn quick. They almost have to learn quick to kind of keep everybody's interest. But it's like, don't be, don't do that. Don't show us that you can, survive. I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
Take a breather.
Yeah.
But right now, Madison right now stuck in the tree. When she's back to the door, she had to tell her now, or just try to help. Cause right now, she's trying to block the door from the person getting help. So is she gonna probably tell her now, or
nope,
or probably not?
Yeah, she has to. You have to figure it out sooner or later, or else you're going to die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's I don't know, and because The Walking Dead, you can kind of be like, who's going to die? I don't know who's on the chopping block to possibly die.
I don't know.
Anytime soon.
But if they keep doing this with the daughter, she might be the first one to go.
Yeah, I don't know, because I would like to kind of get to know her just a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because I think there is
potential
for all of them to be good characters, but it's my brother had a problem with this, and I do kind of have a problem with this too. As of right now, where the characters are, they're not very likable.
No, not really.
Yeah.
None of them are really likable to the point where you're like, yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, like you're rooting for the characters to survive.
Yeah, it's like I said a little bit earlier. Like, first episode, you kind of liked Morgan. Mm-hmm. You didn't know who he was really, but you like Morgan. I mean, God, he's only been in how many episodes, and he's everybody's fan favorite.
Yeah.
You liked Rick. You might have had some problems with him, but you still kind of liked Rick. You loved Glenn when you first met Glenn.
Yeah.
You like these characters, and these characters, I'm not liking really too much of them. They're cold. They're kind of jerks.
Yeah. The only one I really kind of like of our main cast right now, I'd say I like Travis.
Travis.
Well,
but then I also kind of like, even though he's kind of loopy, I kind of like Tobias too.
Travis, I like Travis, and I like that it's an everyman. I like that it's
your average Joe.
A school teacher. He has no police training. He has no real kind of mission. He is him, and I like that. I do like that in Travis's personality of, hey, I'm trying to have this perfect family. I'm trying to, be this perfect boyfriend, this good father, this
Right now, Travis now going through the city trying to get his own son, trying to be a detective right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a much more likable character, but that's still like, he's still not my favorite. I don't think I have a favorite right now because they all just kind of are cold and more cold than they need to be. And you could be like, well, it's from the drug abuse or whatever, and so they've kind of gone through this situation of, well, they're not perfect. It's like, yeah, but
they need a bit more, not emotion, but more of.
I mean, Jesse
I don't know how to say it.
I'm just gonna say Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad was a drug, addicted to drugs, and I still kind of liked him. Not kind of. I love Jesse. Oh my god, I love Jesse. But like, these new characters aren't really giving me anything to extremely kind of latch onto and like even when because at the school part was like the freakiest part.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Like when you heard the walker and you hear him coming in, yeah, but it was still somewhat predictable about what was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of, they're going to run into one and she's going to kind of get the first, or this is kind of what's going to happen. Yeah. And it was still like, I don't know, she was just kind of, I'm lost my train of thought. I didn't lose my train of thought, I just didn't know where I was kind of formulating this or going, but to me, it just seemed they seem cold. They seem extremely cold, and it could be the circumstances that they've been given in, but they still seem a lot colder than
they need to be for this point in the story progression.
Yeah, at this point, it's. I mean, they don't have to be they don't have to be like the Dumpies from Modern Family. They don't have to be like that. But give me a little something to say like. They care about other people besides themselves.
Yeah.
And that's where I think lies where I'm kind of having a problem with this group compared to our other group where, oh my God, my voice.
Oh, wow.
But this is where I have a problem with this group than the other group where they are very much cold and I don't see them really trying to save anybody. And it seems like they're out for, we're sticking out for numero uno and,
we're sticking out for our family, and if something happens to you guys, well...
And I mean, I guess you could say that's another aspect. And that's another point of view. Like, hey, not all group are like Rick's group.
Yeah.
They're different. Some are going to be more greedy than others. So if it's that kind of direction, and if we kind of see these characters more flushed out, I can kind of get behind that. Because every group is different.
Yeah.
And they might meet a new group. And for all we know, this family could be... slowly, and not about survival, but we could be kind of watching bad guys.
Oh yeah.
They could be these people that are these are the people that were like the governor that become the bad guys.
Oh.
And if it's that kind of situation, I'm more that's more piquing my interest and kind of getting me more interested. You know what I mean? Like I think everybody would kind of love to see like a hour movie or something, or like a 2-hour movie of like straight to TV of the governor, like Road to Woodbury.
Ooh, I think that would be interesting.
So, like, if they kind of go that route, I'm more interested instead of just trying to survive. If it's, these are going to be colder people, these are going to be colder characters, they're not going to care as much about other people because they're looking out for themselves. Travis is a nice guy trying to pull his family together, but he's going to change. He's going to become kind of bad. He's going to have very skewed views from Rick. You're going to kind of maybe hate these characters, but love because you hate them. Like, I loved Merle, but because you hate Merle.
Yeah.
You love Merle because you hate him. It's fantastic. And so you always kind of do you like a good bad guy. So I'm wondering if these are going to be the evolution of what this world can do when you've had too much and you become something like the governor.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely an interesting view on things.
Yeah, so that's where I think stuff could be kind of interesting. Now, because we're almost out of time here, but I do kind of I know these go too fast.
They do.
These go too fast, but real quick because I want to plug it in. If you are new to the show, you can totally go and check us out at facebook.com/STLDeadAir. It's the official Dead Air Facebook page and Fear the Dead Air Facebook page. But, okay, so...
So, I guess predictions maybe in 2 weeks? Or...
Yeah, what do you guys think about the 2-week break?
I don't know why. Like, why now? Why do you want to start the 2 break now? I mean, it's only been 2 episodes.
It's only been 2 episodes. We're going to 6 episodes for the season. Why not just wait till episode 3?
Yeah, well, and this is where I think, and I said this on my Facebook page, and I've said it a whole bunch, where I think the 2 weeks going to kind of hurt them. Because
it will hurt them. That will hurt them.
Is,
definitely.
It's such a slow-moving show as of right now, which it needs to be. I'm not saying that it doesn't need to be. It needs to be this build-up, and I appreciate the build-up. And I'd much rather have a full, flushed-out story than, have just kind of, boom, 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 walk, run, and you get nothing, no good story out of it. So I much appreciate the slowness. However, for hardcore fans that feel that it's moving too slow, I could feel them being like, well, I'm done. And they're just going to cut loose and run.
Yeah.
And I could see people that wanted to kind of slowly get into the show who couldn't catch up on Walking Dead, but want to try Fear the Walking Dead. I could feel because it's nothing, stuff has happened, but nothing super memorable has happened quite yet.
Not yet.
So you're going to forget about it within the 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it's like, unless they have something really big, like major event happen in 2 weeks, really, it's not going to be much of a payoff for waiting 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Either they give us something good, and it's like, okay, that was worth the wait, or it's going to be something and go, really? We had to wait 2 weeks for that?
Yeah, and that's kind of where I think it's going to probably lose a lot of the audience, and I don't think it's I trust AMC full-heartedly. I mean, they got one of my favorite shows, 2 of my favorite shows ever. They've done it perfectly. They're fantastic, but I don't think that it's gonna. I think the break's really gonna kind of hurt them, and I think it's going to ruin a lot of the
attention, everything when they try, bring the audience in. That's
lose them. And it does kind of ruin the tension. You're right, Kaji. Like, because with a week thing, it's like, oh, we got this, and then you got to wait a week, and you're like, oh, but there's still that tension. But with 2 weeks and with like a bunch of stuff happened, but really nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's like
the only thing is we've got the family separated now, so that's really the big event.
The family's separated now, and now walkers are starting to show up more frequently and stuff, and the city's kind of slowly starting to come
apart,
unhinged.
Yeah,
but that's still not juicy enough to keep people going, and people might forget.
Yeah.
People will probably forget. So, yeah, we're probably going to take a break next week because
there'd be nothing to really comment on.
No, unless it's like predictions, but I don't think anybody wants to listen to a show of predictions.
No, not really.
So, yeah, I mean, I feel the break's kind of going to hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did too early. They could have maybe a couple more episodes. Then bam, when I get something really good, then they should have did the break there. But I think they did too soon.
I agree.
I mean, clearly it's for Labor Day.
Yeah.
It's for Labor Day coming up. I think a lot of the shows are taking a 2 week break, but it's like still when you have nothing to kind of go on right now, when you have setup, and then you have nothing to talk about, it's going to be forgettable, and you're going to be like, well, maybe I'll turn in 2 weeks. If I forget it, I'll DVR it. And then,
that kind of thing. You're not going to be sitting at the edge of your seat like you would if it was a week waiting. For 2 weeks, it's just, okay. It's like, oh, there was a show? Really? Oh, yeah, I was supposed to watch this, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Maybe not that bad, but, enough to kind of lose, hopefully not lose some of their audience, but they just might. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, predictions, I kind of gave mine and what I think's going to happen. Military is going to come in, it's going to be race against time, and possibly it's going to be, we might see the evolution of evil characters, and I kind of hope that's what they go with instead of a good man trying, being tested and kind of walking that line. I hope it's these guys are going to kind of become straight evil. This is the evolution of what the characters will be like as a governor type character, and this is what we're going to get. So
yeah, that would be interesting to see the show take a turn like that.
Yeah. I mean, and definitely I think they could do that now, because it's like, well, if you don't like them being evil and cold and jerks, watch the other show.
Yeah.
And if the other show,
I mean, the way Rick's turning in
and if the
Walking
other
Dead.
show is too, well, Rick, and this is because I don't want to get into it too much. Rick has always been, he's walking that fine line. He's going back and forth between what he is, and he's been tested over and over and over again, and he's going to be tested over and over and over again. And right now, I think we're at a Rick where, because of what happened at Terminus, he's done. He's done messing around. Terminus and Joe's group, he's done. He's had it. He's sick and tired of it. So he's more, a lot of what he does, his actions, how he doesn't trust the people in Alexandria, it's more justified than anything else. And this is where we want to see this is where I hope the other characters kind of go, where they're a lot just colder. They won't kill because, it's going to help the group. They kill because this guy was in my way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where I think things are going to get kind of interesting, and we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see that when Walking Dead starts October 11th.
October 11th. That's when it's going to come back. And if you want to hear this episode again, or you want to hear last week's episode, I should be getting them up sometime this weekend.
Woo.
Hopefully, if not next week. I need to test out some stuff, but go to facebook.com/STLDeadAir, and you will be able to hear this episode and last episode of Fear the Dead Air, and any other episodes in the upcoming future of Dead Air. We will be doing it, and it will be on Facebook and possibly Twitter at some point.
Nice.
So that's what's going on. Either way, it's been a blast. I've had a lot of fun here. I think we've got a lot of stuff covered.
Oh, yeah.
And it was fantastic. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you, JazzHandss.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yep, I'm your host, JazzHandss, and I've been with...
Hey, it's DJ Kaji.
And I'm Anime.
And we will see you guys in about 2 weeks.
Bye.
So, later, everybody.
KCFB.